friends, it's Terri Gaines, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. In this video tutorial, I'm going to give you all the details to create this fun fold card using the Petals of Beauty dies. These dies are bundled with a stamp set called Petals of Beauty. This is absolutely amazing, this bundle. The stamp set has 10 images. All of the images can be cut out with the dies. Plus you have these additional dies in the die set. I'm going to be using these dies. I did some work ahead of time. I die cut this image in gold foil. I die cut this image in gold foil. And then I also cut this image twice in gold foil. Then I took this die and this die, which are the same here, and I cut those out of Misty Moonlight two-tone cardstock. Two-tone cardstock is a lighter weight cardstock, 12 by 12 in size. It's the true color on one side and a lighter version of the same color on the other side. I cut them out so it will reveal the light color. So those are the dies that I used from this die set. I did a little bit of additional prep work for this project, and I cut out these two banners. These two banners are from the Stylish Shape dies. It's this right here, the same banner cut out of Misty Moonlight cardstock and then basic white. And then what I did was I stamped using a new stamp set called Banner Sayings, and I stamped Celebrate with Misty Moonlight ink pad. I did that work ahead of time. Now these three items, the stamp set and the dies, are part of Stampin' Up's new November 2025 online exclusives. Lots of new product became available on November 4th. I will have a link to my PDF that will show you all of those new online exclusives, along with a link to the online store to see more details about the product. So that's what I did with these items. I did a little bit of additional work ahead of time by die cutting the branching out dies. Now these dies, you have these decorative die images, plus you have 6 dies that layer together. I cut the largest one out of Misty Moonlight cardstock. I cut the second largest out of basic white. And then before I adhered them together, I texturized the white with the exposed brick 3D embossing folder. So I did that work ahead of time. And then let's see, I think that's all the work I did ahead of time other than scoring my cardstock. So I talked about the decorative images. This is the decorative panel. The sentiment layer is a basic white because this card opens up and displays this panel, and it displays beautifully, showcasing the decorative layers here, the decorative panel. So you actually sign the back of the card. So this is the sentiment layer. I've got that pre-cut at 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. And then the decorative layers are the designer series paper. This is in the annual catalog. This paper was my inspiration for this card. So this is the designer series paper. It's 12 by 12 in size. You get 2 each of these beautiful specialty paper designs that have gold images on them and then backgrounds on the other side. This was my inspiration for the card because I thought these elements reminded me of this paper. So that's why I chose the colors I did and to design the card the way I did. So these two are the very same size as this, and you need 2 of those. Then we have a brace. Now this card was inspired by a fun fold that is created like this, where you score your cardstock 2 places, you make 2 cuts, you score these and this differently, and it folds flat like this. Now, I'm not a fan of creating cards like this, so I designed a card that you don't have to make those cuts. It gets the same opening effect, but you add a brace inside. I actually designed this card back in January when I designed this card. So I will link you back to this YouTube video, and it has a lot of samples on that YouTube video. Some of that product is retired. And some of it might still be available on the last chance list. So this is the inspiration for the card, and these are the measurements. So I talked about the brace. The brace is what you can do instead of making those additional cuts. Now it is 8 1/4 in length, 1 3/4 in width or height, scored at 2 1/8, 3 1/8, 5 1/8, and 6 1/8. Then you do a mountain fold, or I'm sorry, valley fold, mountain fold, valley fold. The goal is to get these two score lines to meet up. So if they don't meet up, you just make sure they meet up, and then you crease that with your bone folder. So this is going to be used instead of making those cuts and score lines. Now the card base is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored at 2 1/8, 4 1/4, 6 3/8. It's going to be a mountain fold, valley fold, mountain fold. That's how I instruct people to fold it, burnish it, but then you open it up and it's actually going to be mountain fold, valley fold, and that's straight until you open it to display it. That's why we fold it that way, to burnish it. So when you open it, it will kind of fold that way. So this is what you need. Now we need to do the assembly. So what I'm going to do first is attach these two decorative layers, and one gets attached here and one gets attached here. I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal, and I'm going to just put it on the back and attach one at a time. I usually look at opposite corners, but when I'm looking at something like this, I'm looking at the top two corners, then I'm viewing that spot right there and look for equal spacing. And then once I feel comfortable with that, I push it down and burnish it. So then I'm going to put my adhesive on the back of this piece, and this goes in this other panel. I'm looking at those opposite, or those two corners, and then once I get comfortable with that, I'm going to look down at that center spot, and then once I'm good with that, then I'll burnish it in place. So I have that. Now I mentioned this is where you sign the card, so we're going to close it like that, and I like it to be hidden back here. So I'm going to put adhesive here and put this one right here. It doesn't matter which panel you put it on, and actually you could put it on any of them. It's going to fit. It's the same. All panels are the same size there. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is attach this brace. Now, I explained it in my video in January that I like to do it, create like an upside down T. Bring these two pieces together, push this together so it's flat, and hold on to that. The adhesive is going to go here and here. Then I would hold this like a taco. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to hold this in my hand, in my right hand, hold this. The goal is to put this edge right at that score line, so you push it down like that. I'll look for approximate equal spacing on the top and bottom, and then you're going to squeeze that together. That's how I like to attach it. You might find a different way you like to attach it. So in saying that, I open it up. I put my adhesive on that end panel and this end panel. They're identical in size. It's all uniform, so there's no right or left. It's all the same. Put those together, hold it, push this all together so you got that that upside down T. Use your finger, your thumb and your index finger to hold it. Have those flush, adhesive here, adhesive here. Hold this like a taco. Put that ends right in the score, on the fold line, and then squeeze those panels, burnish it here, and then you have it attached. So this is representing that other sample that I showed you. Now when you fold this flat, this goes down flat like that. If this part buckles, just take your bone folder and crease that. We want that to lay flat for the envelope. If it's a little high or low, that's totally okay, because this panel is going to cover that up and no one's going to see that. Now in my previous samples, all the cards I made in the past, I put everything down at the bottom, because when this card opens up, if it's not just laying quite right, it's going to topple. Well, for this card, what I did was I centered the panel, because I'm going to use this decorative element for that sentiment, but also to be that support. So now you can take this element and put it in the center. So that's what I'm going to do here. And the adhesive goes right here, not on the back of this. Now this is my little trick that I like to do. I know a lot of people do it. It's not just my idea, but when you're sandwiching a layer in between layers or it's hidden, you can cut out your elements from here. So I cut that banner out of this piece because once it gets attached here, no one can even see that. You can't see that it's cut out. You have to like look, I mean, maybe someone will see it, but it's not going to be obvious because put your adhesive right here on this panel, and then we're going to look for equal spacing on the top and bottom and put that down. Now, maybe you can see that piece out, but you got to really look for it, and just you and I know that it's out of there. So back to this. So if this isn't quite right, it's going to topple. So now we're going to put this element on the edge, like I mentioned. I'm going to bring in my silicone craft mat. Now I'm going to just put adhesive on the back portion on the other side of this label, just in this location. So I'm going to turn it over, use my Stampin' Seal. I just have it up on the top, and then I'm going to attach it to this for a decorative element there, just to add a little bit of color. So now the bottom of this label has to be flush to the card. That's going to allow it to stand and not topple. Now you could attach it with dimensionals. I want it flush, so I'm going to use Stampin' Up's tear and tape. It's a stronger adhesive. You can put it down and tear it with your fingernail, or you can cut it with the scissors. You don't need a lot of it. And I'm going to put tear and tape right there. You could use your liquid glue, you could use dimensionals or your Stampin' Seal, but I'm going to use the tear and tape. I'm making that flush to the bottom, burnishing that on. Now this card will not topple no matter how this is folded, because that is your support to keep it from toppling. And it looks like we wanted it to be there. All right, so now we get to decorate the card with the decorative images. Now, I already told you about these. We have these 3 flowers, and I did not tell you, I don't think I told you yet, that these do not match these perfectly. That's why I thought they went really pretty with this paper, because those gold outlines do not match the Misty Moonlight outlines. So you can attach these in any rotation that you would like, and there's not going to be a wrong way to do this. I'm going to attach mine with mini glue dots. For the large one, I'm going to use 2 mini glue dots. Now you could use liquid glue or any of your preferred adhesives. I'm going to put a couple mini glue dots just behind the center, and I think we're going to go good with that, just like that. Then I'm going to do the same for this, but these smaller ones, I'm just going to do 1 mini glue dot behind it. Use my take your pick tool, make sure it's not exposed. Oops, I got one on my finger. These mini glue dots are strong. You got to be careful. They stick to everything. And let's see, how do I want that one to be? I don't think there's, I mentioned earlier, there's no wrong way to do that. So I got that one attached. And then this one, put a mini glue dot back there. And then I'm going to say we'll attach it like that. This one a little bit different than the previous one. So we have those. Now for this, I'm going to use liquid glue, the multi-purpose liquid glue. These areas are pretty small. The mini glue dots are going to be too big. You could modify the size, roll them in. I'm going to use multi-purpose liquid glue for this. I'm going to put some down on my silicone craft mat. I used to dedicate a sponge dauber just to my liquid glue, but now I take the other cap off. This end does dispense glue, and it's got this applicator here. I don't squeeze the bottle to get glue out that side. I just use that, and I do have too much glue there. To actually get some on here, I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to just dab it on a little bit of the stem here and there. Now, liquid glue has lots of great purposes. It gives you time to position your product or your elements together. If you want, you can reposition it before it dries. I have a love-hate relationship with it because I typically put too much on there, but I have learned that when you apply it, let it sit for just a few seconds or not a long time, because that's going to let some of it dry. If you let it totally dry, it becomes tacky like a Post-it note. But if it's still wet, when you bond it, you will have your permanent adhesive. So I'm just going to give it a tad bit of time to have some of that dry so it doesn't ooze out. Now I just want to stay in the outline of the card, and I'm going to place this down about like that and then apply some pressure to get that to bond. And there is still a little bit oozing out. Now I did use too much, and you can let that dry and use you can peel it off. It peels off really easily once it dries. I'm going to attach these with dimensionals. So I'm going to start with the large flower, and I'm just going to put one dimensional behind it. And I'm going to put this large flower down here. Now I do want to keep some of the stem visible. If I was going to cover it all up, I could have only die cut half of it if I was going to cover all of that up, but I'm going to try to keep some of it still visible. That's why I'm kind of offsetting things a little bit like that. I'm going to put a one dimensional behind that. With only one dimensional, that allows you to tuck some of your elements underneath your petals. I'm going to tuck that one underneath a little bit. And then this one, I'm going to go a little bit higher and attach this one about right here. So that's how I've got that, and I think it looks beautiful with that designer series paper. Now to add a little bit of sparkle to the flowers, I'm going to use these iridescent foil gems. They are two sizes. They've got this little gold foil. Oops, that one popped. And there's two sizes. There's 50 of each size. So there's 100 altogether. And I'm going to put the large size in the center of each one of these flowers. Then I'm going to take the small ones and just sprinkle them up in this area. Let's see. I'm going to maybe offset one up there. And I'm using my scissors kind of as a little pliers or a tool. Then I'm going to take a couple large ones, and let's see, how do I want to do that? I'm going to put a couple over here, and that is going to be the card. So as I mentioned, I will link you to that video in January that I did. I will have all of these measurements on the text portion of the YouTube video, along with on my blog post, and I have photos of this card as well. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. Take care and happy creating.